Hello everyone, welcome back to Crypto's News. It's me, Omar Bam. Going to be chatting on what's happening in crypto today. So happy to be back here with you. Thank you so much for the support. Continue to hit the like, subscribes if you want to know what's going on. And I'll try to keep you up to date and informed on the most important topics in crypto as much as possible. So today what's going on is we have Bitcoin pretty much flat. You have Ethereum, however, performing a little bit better. It's up 1.7%. And the main reason for that, I think, has to do with an announcement from Coinbase, which is that Coinbase has announced that they're going to be launching their own layer 2. So like a side chain for Ethereum that's built off of Optimism technology. So this means that developers will not be able to build applications like they might on rival layer 2s like Arbitrum or Optimism itself, but they will be able to now build instead over the new Base sidechain or layer 2 that Coinbase is sponsoring themselves as they hope to onboard 1 billion plus new users into Web3. That's something that should make it faster for transactions to happen. It's something that should make fees substantially less. One thing that they are going to have natively available is for developers to be able to build out APIs that will work with account abstraction to allow for feeless transactions for users. So what does that mean? If you haven't looked at account abstraction, in a nutshell, would be a way to allow for users to have like some sort of subscription, like a monthly subscription perhaps, that they would pay to some sort of decentralized application that would happen automatically using smart contracts on Ethereum, because this is an Ethereum layer 2, so it would be quite similar off of that. But yeah, account abstraction has been something that has been talked about as possibly coming soon to Ethereum. I mentioned it on the show soon, native Ethereum, but this would be available on Base, Coinbase's layer 2, and it would allow for users to basically pay like one monthly subscription to whatever decentralized application and have no transaction fees for that. It would all work where the developer would pay the transaction fees in a nutshell, or the application, the decentralized, the dApp would pay the application fees on behalf of the users who paid their monthly subscription. So something really, really interesting that I think you could imagine there would be quite a bit of demand for building out for, and it should be easy for developers who built on Ethereum or other sidechains to already be quite familiar. It should be something that's interoperable, Coinbase has said, with other ecosystems in the future, like perhaps even Solana as well. So this is being seen, I think, as a good thing. You had Coinbase up their stock 2%, the coin stock. You had people wondering, so is this going to have its own token? No, unfortunately. If you were hoping for mad gains off of some sort of crypto token or airdrop or something, and I can see why there would be excitement around that, because it would be the first time that Coinbase has launched a network themselves. It is not going to be the case that there is going to be a token or an airdrop surrounding this. It would basically be using Ethereum to fuel this network. So yeah, I wanted to give you a heads up on that. Also, I didn't get to talk about yesterday the congressional bill that's been put out by Tom Emmer, Republican, and it is one that would ban basically central bank digital currencies from being issued. It would ban central banks from, like the Federal Reserve, from being able to issue products or goods directly to citizens, to hold accounts on behalf of citizens at the Federal Reserve, or for them to issue any central bank digital currency, a CBDC, directly to a citizen as a means of protecting and upholding privacy for citizens and sovereignty for citizens, and stop them from mass surveillance, basically, in a nutshell, since these central bank digital currencies would be able to track every single transaction that a person does, which could be a problem for preserving democracy itself if the government is overreaching perhaps, and citizens need to unite in other ways. That could be easily stopped. That information could be sold to the highest bidder. There are so many different ways that this information could be used against us, especially when it is information that would be held by an unelected group of representatives, the Federal Reserve Open Market Committee, which, by the way, I think it's good that you see Bitcoin. And before I guess I jump to that, yeah, so this is something that I think is really cool. Hopefully gets a lot of support. You're seeing it supported by other representatives, Republicans, so it kind of goes in line with this recent idea that Democrats are basically anti-crypto, right, anti-freedom, and you have Republicans more in support of open crypto, of preserving privacy rights and so on. Unfortunately, it's gone this way. I think that both sides could benefit from people having sovereignty, people having more freedom in opening up businesses and preserving capital and not having mass surveillance. But I guess Democrats are bigger government, so you want to see surveillance, you want to see control, you want to see communism, baby. Equality, let's call it equality. Equal opportunity employment, equal opportunity enslavement. But anyway, it's become this direction where basically Republicans are more pro-openness, more pro-crypto, it seems. Pro-cryptos getting, or businesses around crypto getting opportunities to get money, licenses easier and so on. I think it's sad to see it go that way, but yeah, you have like Louder Milk from Georgia and Biggs, other representatives from what is it? I don't remember the name of the other place. But yeah, basically Republicans are the main ones so far that are offering support for this bill, but hopefully that does grow in number. So I guess get the word out about that if you haven't heard about that particular bill, sponsored by Tom Emmer, or drafted by him. And so yeah, I was going to mention, speaking of the Federal Open Market Committee, you had the Federal Open Market Committee, the FOMC of the Fed, come out yesterday and announce that it's going to be for February a 25 basis point hike in line with expectations, smaller than most of the rate hikes that we saw last year of 50 basis points, as they've slowed down somewhat. But they did say that looking at some of the inflation numbers, like we saw 6.4% in December, as far as in year-over-year inflation, PCE, or no, CPI. Anyway, because of that, inflation still remains somewhat high, and they said that they're going to they still plan ongoing rate hikes, which would mean not necessarily a pause or reversal, at least not just yet. So that is something that had put a little bit of pressure on the stock market. The Dow Jones is down, I think, like 83 points today, not much, 0.3%. But cryptos are up, which is still good to see. I think cryptos are going to continue to rate hike. I think there's a lot of interest right now in getting involved at these prices from institutionals. You had like Mike Novogratz talking about his desk, his trading desk at Galaxy Digital, getting calls. A lot of enthusiasm right now coming out for interest. He's talking about calls that are coming in being a lot more enthusiastic about trying to get into crypto. So I think that just speaks to the times. So pause or reverse, crypto booms a lot quicker than it might if they continue to hike at these rates. There have been a few of the Fed officials calling for increasing rate hikes again, but it's not in the majority. And I think it's interesting to look at the Fed President Bullard's comments. He came out on TV yesterday and said that he actually thinks that rate hikes will probably pause and stay at that level around 5.375% interest rates, and keeping it there for a while should be enough along with what market expectations are currently to eventually keep us on track and bring down inflation, see it coming down to healthy levels, and approach their soft landing, basically not cause a massive recession, massive layoffs, and everything else, which I think is actually what they're trying to do, but it's neither here nor there. They continue to squeeze this balloon till it pops, and then they'll have a real reason to reverse course, and then the real party can begin, I guess, in risk assets or so on. But yeah, I think that they probably don't have much longer before they do have to pause, and that's pretty much, I think, what they're trying to put out there into the airwaves by having Fed President Bullard come out. They speak tough, but I don't know that they'll be able to get much higher than around 5.3 5.5% if they even get that high. Right now we're at 4.5 to 4.75% after this 25 basis point hike. Lastly, I just want to recall or mention to you guys that Sam Bankman-Fried has been hit with another slew of charges. He's been indicted on 12 new counts, conspiracy to commit money laundering, operating an unlicensed money transfer business, and so on. So he could be facing even more time in prison is how people are looking at this. And I don't know. He'll probably get away with just I don't know, he's already on bail, right, for a $250 million bond. They haven't locked him up yet. You'd think they would go and like charge him more for the bond now that there's new counts, or lock him up for a little bit more. The befallen former FTX CEO was fallen from grace like he was some sort of angel of crypto. I think he thought himself the Messiah, but it just has not been the case. But anyway, yeah, so I just wanted to mention that. He's been hit with new slew of charges, whatever. We'll see where all that goes. I don't know. He probably will still answer some sort of plea, I imagine, in the future. But it would be nice to see justice happen. And some other things that had come out is that he had illegally donated to politicians. For example, he had other FTX employees donate to Republicans because he didn't want to be associated with them, to seem more leaning in that direction, for example. The politics of it all. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the show. That's pretty much the main subjects that I wanted to talk to you guys. You have other coins that are up today. Lido up like 4%. You have Tezos up about 4%. You have Optimism up about 22% at one point today because of the news related to Coinbase, which made sense, I think, because Coinbase's network will be paying transaction fees back to Optimism, apparently. So this could benefit the Optimism ecosystem. So anyway, that's pretty much an overview of what is most being talked about right now, and I wish you guys the best. Remember to hit like if you did enjoy this, subscribe if you're new to the show, and comment your thoughts below. I appreciate each and every one of you just for watching. Take care, much love, and stay cryptic. Peace.